Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And I got a very interesting about a Boston doctor that had a weird situation take place on a plane. And I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with this, but this is about Dr. Supta Mohanty. Dr. Mohanty, 33 years old, from Boston. He's in the middle of he got arrested, getting off a plane for going from Honolulu back to Boston. And he's having a bench trial, meaning his fate will be decided by a judge and not a jury. He was indicted on one count of lewd, indecent, and obscene acts on an aircraft. So when you first hearing this, you think, okay, he went into a bathroom with his girlfriend, wife, whoever, and they commenced to engaging in some kind of sexual behavior in the bathroom, got caught by a flight attendant. No. This is different. Investigators say Dr. Mohanty was a passenger aboard a Hawaiian airline flight from Honolulu to Boston in May of 2022, this is a year and a half ago, with a female companion, his girlfriend, and was seated next to a 14-year-old girl traveling with her grandparents who were sitting nearby. The 14-year-old girl noticed that Dr. Mohanty had covered himself with a blanket up to his neck and that his leg was bouncing. A short time later, the 14-year-old girl saw that the blanket was on the floor, no longer covering Dr. Mohanty, and that Dr. Mohanty was masturbating, according to the prosecutors. Full-blown out masturbating. The minor removed herself to an empty seat in a different row. After arriving in Boston, she told family members about what she claimed to have seen, and the police were notified. The charges against Dr. Mohanty carries a sentence of up to 90 days in jail, 1 year of supervised release, and a fine up to $5,000. Now, mind you, he's supposedly committing this lewd act with his girlfriend sitting next to him. Dr. Mohanty of Cambridge worked as a doctor at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in Boston. The hospital said last year that he was no longer practicing at the hospital. So he had a bench trial here recently, even though the case took place in May of 2022. I'm bringing this up because he just got found not guilty. He said the last 6 months of his life had been a bizarre nightmare, and he was sitting next to his girlfriend, and why in the world would he commit a lewd act in front of a 14-year-old girl? Let alone, why wouldn't his girlfriend stop him from doing it? You would think that she could potentially be charged as an accessory to Dr. Mohanty committing this lewd act. Well, the jury came back and found him not guilty. So this is one of the stories where you've seen or heard some of my stories about, as I said, teachers with young middle school, with teenage high school students that have committed crimes and have been found guilty, social workers participating in inappropriate behavior with teenage clients and being found guilty. Well, we have one where this doctor, young physician, Dr. Mohanty, 33, with his entire life in front of him, just starting in practice, gets accused of something that he did not do. Now, what's going on in the mind of that 14-year-old young lady, or what did she think she saw, is all up for debate. But hopefully, with the way the American judicial system works, he was found not guilty, and he hopefully can move on with the rest of his life. But in today's social media climate, where at a push of a button, sometimes the accusation carries more weight and is more lasting than the conviction. Had this all taken place on the airplane with in the presence of this 14-year-old, not only could he have gotten jail time, but he would have lost his medical license, or there's a moral turpitude clause in having a medical license or a legal license, and this could have ruined his career. But unfortunately, it did not. But it character assassinated him and has ruined his character. Because even though he's been found not guilty, and this has been all over the national news, and the police arrested him just based on an accusation, there was no physical evidence, there was no semen in the blanket, any of that kind of thing. Nobody else saw it, just this 14-year-old young lady. His life will be forever changed, and he will always have this particular issue and charge looming over his head. He may want to get out of Boston and possibly go practice somewhere else. And the other thing with the young lady, if that did not take place, I think that the 14-year-old should get some kind of psychological counseling if she is seeing things that are not there or making up accusations for attention. She needs to be closely monitored to see what's going on with her emotionally, psychologically, and to get her into some kind of even keel, healthy place to continue to be a teen and move on into adulthood. And this needs to be looked at psychologically and mentally by by her, because we don't want her to start making up accusations about teachers or other people, adults in authority positions. It could be her own father, mother, grandparents, and start this whole storyline where people are doing things to her or around her that have not taken place. So this is a real interesting dichotomy and storyline, and it's one that for once in a while, this particular leader, professional, Dr. Mohanty, was found not guilty. He did not sexually assault a young lady, and according to the evidence in the court and the jury and the judge, there was no jury. According to the judge, this situation did not take place. So that is to be very thankful and happy about, versus it being some scenario where this doctor had actually done these things, or perpetrated these sexual misconduct crimes on this young lady, and he would have ended up losing his career and going to jail or prison, and it would have been extremely disturbing to this young lady. So it was a he say, she say with a 14-year-old young lady and a 33-year-old doctor. For his sake, thank goodness it was on the plane and he was sitting next to his girlfriend. He had corroborating witnesses saying he did not do that. And who knows what is going on in that young lady's mind if she made that story up. Hopefully her family will get her the psychological therapy and treatment that she needs to get her back in alignment of dealing in reality and not making up stories which could destroy people's lives. So we have to manifest our truth in the right direction, be positive and righteous and God-fearing, and hopefully Dr. Mohanty can recover from this and move on and be a stellar citizen and physician and treat people with compassion and care. He's got another 40 years, 33 to he's 70, to practice and do good things in the communities that he lives in and works in, and hopefully he can put this behind him. So Dr. Mohanty was found not guilty for a lewd act on a plane coming back from Honolulu to Boston, and the accused was a 14-year-old girl that said that she saw him masturbating, and he did not do that. And he's had a rough time over the last 6 months of his life, and now it's time for him to restore and get his credibility, his character back in good standing, and as a professional. And let's manifest our truth in the right way, whether you were young or old, mental illness, psychological. Your psychological health is very important, whether you're a teenager or a grown person. And if it's true that she made up the story, that's not a good way for her to start entering her teenage years and going into her adulthood, because one allegation can destroy another person's entire life and career. Thank you for listening to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.